everyone, my name is Seneca. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, then welcome back to my channel. This is my first time making a study tips video, so I hope you guys find it helpful. And do tell me in the comments down below if there are any other kinds of study tips you want to see. I have my notes here on my computer, so without further ado, I took the SAT one time. It was almost a year ago during the August before 11th grade. I did not take it in the US, so it was already a digital test and I got a score of 1560. Before the test, I self-studied for 3 weeks, so I'm pretty proud that I was able to get over 1550. And in this video, I will share my own study process as well as the tips and tricks for those who are preparing for the DSAT. I will put up a table of contents somewhere on the screen along with your timestamps so you can just navigate the video. So number one is mindset. I feel like this is something talked about so much yet so little. Before making this video, I asked my friend who was studying for the August SAT for what content she wanted to see, and she said, and that brings me to my first point. The SAT is not as daunting as it seems. The SAT is a standardized test. It's not like an academic competition in which you have to study things that are not in your school's curriculum or things that are even college level. The SAT is designed to prepare you for college. So everything in the syllabus are things that you should be taught in high school. The reason why it's hard is because the writers of the SAT know how you can get things wrong. So once you get the hang of how the questions are designed, you can hack your way into the mindset of an SAT writer and get the questions correct. Now, as for resources, there are so many resources available online. Honestly, you can just do a simple Google search. I would say the major one is Khan Academy. I regret not using this enough when I was preparing. After taking the test, I looked back at Khan Academy's website and I was blown away. It has everything from reading to writing to math. The videos have such clear explanations, so Khan Academy would definitely be my top choice for SAT resources. The next resource would be to use the official SAT prep tools from College Board. This includes its practice tests on Blue Book as well as previous paper tests. Number 3, reading and writing. The reading and writing section on the SAT follows a pretty clear structure. For example, the first few questions are always vocabulary / words and context questions. Those are pretty hard, by the way. And the last few questions always consist of a person taking notes and you have to find the best fit answer. If you're having trouble with a specific question, then it should be relatively easy to pinpoint your areas of weaknesses. My number one tip is to read strategically. Try to skim the passages and look at the question and choices before reading the passage in full. What this does is that it gives you a framework of the passage, so once you read it thoroughly and in full, you kind of know what you should be looking for. Unless you're on a time crunch, please do not answer the question directly after skimming. Many questions are designed to have answers that look correct on the surface, but are actually incorrect once you truly understand the text. Now moving on to math. I may be wrong, but based on what I've seen online and from people around me, students tend to get higher scores on the math section of the SAT, and I feel like the reason for that is because the math content is rather fixed, and by that I mean the math content consists of topics that most high school students have already covered in school. If you understand the question and know how to solve it, you usually will be getting the correct answer. But the catch here is that the choices on the SAT are crafted so that all of them can seem like the correct answer. If you missed a step or multiplied instead of divided, you could very well be getting a wrong answer, but that wrong answer will be one of the choices. The people who wrote the SAT know that students are going to make careless mistakes, so they make the answers that you could very realistically get if you're not careful enough. And how do we prevent this? My number one tip for preventing careless mistakes would simply be to just revise the content and do a lot of practice problems. And it's really through that trial and error that you start to get familiar with the test. And also, in the digital SAT, there is a graphing display calculator. For many of the questions, you can actually use it as a shortcut. That's what I did, and it saved me so much time during the official test. Number 5, study schedule. Obviously, your study schedule will differ based on how much time you have left. If you're watching this the night before your exam, What I did personally was that I took a practice test every 2 to 3 days, and for the days that I was not taking a test, I was reviewing the answers and trying to see how I could improve. For the last 1 or 2 days before the test, I would actually recommend taking a break from the SAT content. This is given that you've already done enough preparation beforehand. If you're looking at this the night before your test, after watching this video, please just go and study. We got this. Number 6 is the holy grail. Basically just some of my own interpretations. The SAT is just a test full of questions. So what better way to prepare than to do practice questions? I don't know for other places, but here in China, there are a lot of study abroad agencies that give SAT tutoring. I did not have a tutor, so my personal advice is to self-study, but this may differ from person to person. Even if agencies try to mimic the style of SAT questions, it simply is not the same. So if I were to choose between doing the old official paper tests versus the DSATs written by third parties, I would choose the old official tests. Taking a practice test is probably the most important thing you can do. It basically forces you to perform under exam conditions, so try to simulate the test environment as much as you can. You can't really recreate the intensity of an actual SAT, but you can get pretty close. Mock exams will actually help you understand how to manage your time and get you familiar with the various types of questions. After taking the test, you need to review your mistakes. You can't just simply grade the exam and move on. You want to understand why you made that mistake and what you can do to improve next time. Grading your own SATs will also help you identify your strengths and weaknesses, pointing you towards subjects and topics that need additional study time. So yeah, these were all just my own opinions on the SAT. These were the actual study tips that I used when I studied, so I really hope these will be of help for you. As you can tell, it's pretty simple. Just do practice tests, review your answers, and improve next time. And honestly, I feel like if you work hard, study hard, and do your best on the test, then you won't be disappointed. If you've watched to this point, then thank you so much. Comment down below what content you want to see next time, and I'll see you next time. Bye!